Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mindfulness Monday. The first thing that I ask is that you turn your phones on silent or vibrate or whatever. Just we don't want the phones to be going off while we're doing our exercise. My name is Jason Plord. I'm the wellness coordinator for the Our Wellness program. We are lucky enough to have with us Vivian Hermes. She is a mindfulness facilitator, a certified mindfulness facilitator that will lead us through this exercise. So, Vivian, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always my pleasure to be with you all. We are going to work with gratitude today. And I thought what we would start with first is some grounding exercises to just connect back to our body. And what's really helpful to do that is to bring some awareness to our breathing. So let's start first by taking a deep breath in. Let it be deep but comfortable. And then expelling all of that air out as much as you can. You can do it with a deep sigh. And doing that a couple of more times at your own pace. You can do that as many times as you need to, but once you feel like you've arrived, you can the breathing go back to its natural rhythm. And then begin to experience the breath just as it is. So take note whether you're feeling the breath most strongly in your abdomen or belly, or up at your chest or in your nostrils. You might also be feeling the breath more prominently somewhere else, and you're welcome to give your attention to that area as well. Or taking some time to feel the breath, experience it. Bodies, the body's been breathing all day, not requiring any attention, but it's a beautiful bridge to bring us back into our body when we do give attention to the breathing. So you might be noticing the expansion and contraction of the belly, or the rise and fall of the chest. The breath might actually feel like you're creating more volume in the body when you breathe in, and then it might feel like you're contracting and losing some volume in the body when you breathe out. You might even notice it as a little sensation of tickling just underneath your nostrils. If you're noting it at your nostrils, you might even notice that there's a temperature shift that happens. On the in breath, it actually feels a little cooler than the out breath. Letting each exhale to allow for a little more relaxation, heaviness. Let it be soothing. And if the breath happens to be difficult right now, whether for whatever reason, maybe you have a stuffy nose or just doesn't feel good to notice the breath, you can always take in the sounds in the room, the sound of my voice, sounds internal to you. Maybe your stomach is making sounds, or even your sound of your own breathing. Just noticing what that's like. And know that the mind will likely wander as you do this practice, and that's part of practice itself. And so the technique is that when the mind does wander to either planning or remembering or just random thinking, that we turn it so that those things end up in the background when we notice them, but we continually bring to the foreground our breath or the sounds, whatever we've chosen, to the foreground. So you can imagine the mind as a stage, a rotating stage, that sometimes it'll rotate to the things that you're not trying to give attention to, but when you turn the stage, the spotlight all of a sudden brings to the foreground the thing that you've chosen to give attention to. So we don't have to remove anything in order to bring this relative focus of attention. Nothing has to leave. You can experiment with that as we practice. So our practice today, and if it feels comfortable, we'll be working with gratitude, allowing our appreciation to rise up inside of us and fill and spread the body and the mind, knowing that you can always come back to the focused practice if this doesn't resonate for you, or even switch to a practice that supports you, because we're just here to take this time to support each other and whatever we find nourishing in this moment. So if you want to work with the gratitude practice, I want you to bring to mind someone you don't know very well, but that when you think of who has supported you today, they come to mind. So someone that you might not know very well might be the waste disposal person who picks up the trash bins, or the person who stacked the fruit at the grocery store, or the barista that prepared your coffee, or the author of the book you're reading, or the host of a podcast you're enjoying right now. So allow yourself to notice the gratitude and appreciation that you have for their effort and their work. Notice what it's like in the body. It could be very, very subtle, almost not noticeable at all, and that's okay. If you do feel it anywhere, take note of where you're feeling it, how it's presenting in the body. And there, of course, might be more than one person that comes to mind as you reflect on it. So many people are providing us support in our lives, people that we don't know. And as they come to mind, you can just say thank you. And now shifting and thinking about the tools that you use to support your work and your life. We have smartphones, of course. We also have computers and books, physical buildings, like your home or your office, the space that you're in, all the different types of equipment. I just invite you to choose one thing and begin to reflect on all of the things that were required for it to come into creation. You can start from the beginning. If it's a physical thing like a piece of technology or a building, you can think that it required some inspiration, that there was an idea, that there required collaboration and cooperation between many different individuals. There were blueprints and plans and models and testers and designers. There was also physical material that was required. So you can think of the people who mined the raw material, the people who worked those materials into the parts that were needed. Tap into your appreciation and gratitude that you have access to these particular wonderful tools that make our life so much easier due to the efforts of so many people that you will never know. So you can just offer up some thanks. It could just be a simple thank you as they come to mind. Begin to notice, where do you feel the appreciation, the gratitude? Does it come up as a thought? Does it come up as a physical bodily sensation? Does it come up as an image in your mind, or some combination of any of those things? And now shifting, as you stick with that level of appreciation, feel some gratitude for the people you work or live with. And well, to do this, I invite you to think of a person that directly supports your work or your life. Reflect on how they've contributed to your life. Reflect on their good intentions for you. And you can gently and warmly offer them your thanks. And now bringing to mind someone in your life that you deeply care about. Picture them in your mind and think about what this person means to you, who they are, what you've experienced with them. Reflect on the influence they've had in your life. And as you do this, see if you can notice any emotions that are here right now that might, other than gratitude. And how are these showing up with physical sensations? So we experience feelings in our mind, but also the mind knows that that feeling is here because there's physical sensations that tell it, oh, we're feeling joy, we're feeling happiness, we're feeling sadness, regret. The physical sensations might be a little more challenging, but sometimes they're accessible. So you can start first maybe noticing what sort of physical sensations are in and around your heart. Is it feeling expansive or is it constricting or something else? Is it fluttering? So as you reflect on this person that you care about, see if you can offer them some gratitude for their presence in your life, thanking them for who they are. And you can even imagine them receiving your gratitude. Maybe they offer you a smile. Now from here, I invite you to bring to mind something you're grateful for in this moment. It could be something simple, it doesn't have to be something complicated at all. Whatever comes to mind that you feel really appreciative of in this moment, the gratitude that you experience, that it's present in your life. Notice what it feels like in the body when you acknowledge this gratitude. And see if you can experiment with allowing that feeling, wherever you might be feeling it initially in the body, see if you can make it spread to other parts beyond that area. So if you're feeling it in and around your heart or chest, see if you can draw it down into the belly and legs. Or up into the shoulders and through the arms or into the head. And when you do this, a lot of times what you'll experience is that the sensation will stop or it'll dissolve. See if you can bring it back to mind. That's something that you're grateful for. So it could be the same thing that you started with, or something else might come to mind. Just trying to trigger the gratitude and then allow it to spread. And so when you cultivate gratitude in your life, you can even apply it to things that you find challenging or difficult or even unpleasant. And so if you want to experiment with that, I invite you to bring to mind something that you're feeling challenged by, but maybe something that you also want to express gratitude for at the same time. It might be something in the past that maybe at the time you weren't happy about, it was challenging, but looking back on it, you realize it put certain conditions in motion that you're actually grateful for. So offer your gratitude and appreciation, your thanks for this challenge. At the time, you didn't know what fruits it was going to bear, but now it's making more sense. Maybe not complete sense, but it's making more sense. And taking some time to offer some gratitude for your body, for your mind, for the simple fact of being alive. Here we all are sharing aliveness in this moment together. How unique every one of these moments actually are. You know, the personal challenges of your body and your mind in this moment. You can also acknowledge that given its challenges, that it's doing the best it can, that it's here, present, and taking some time to appreciate the opportunity you've created to take this pause and to experience gratitude in itself for all the things you've brought to mind during this practice, for all of the countless gifts in your life, the ones that you can see and acknowledge, and those that maybe are not very vivid for you right now that you don't see. You can just offer up a simple thank you to all the people, to all the conditions around you, all the things that are a part of you, and for all that you've experienced in this life. Thank you. And allow this sense of gratitude to fill you broadly and completely as you notice you've still been breathing in and out, letting yourself settle on the breath right here and right now, fully alive and present in this very moment. This moment only once. What would that would be like if we moved through our life in this way, recognizing this moment is only happening this one time. And now taking a full deep breath in and a slow and long breath out. Doing it a couple of times. And with each full deep breath in, coming back into your body, becoming aware of the space that you're in, moving in a way that feels good, maybe even stretching, yawning, doing it gently and slowly, opening your eyes if they were closed, and allowing your awareness to come back to where you are, the preciousness of what's around you. I want to thank you all for joining today. I hope it was a worthwhile practice. And I I hope you'll join us again for Mindful Monday.
Thank you very much, Vivian. We appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for attending Mindfulness Monday. We'll be doing this again next week. So hope to see you back. If you are a faculty or faculty or staff member that needs Flex, I will have a sign-in sheet here for you. So thank you very much. Thank you. See you next week.
See you. Take care.